Follow the Path. The Bears Grove is adult-level discussion of role-playing as a storytelling art at samchupmedia.com. Hello and welcome to another Bears Grove podcast. Today on the program, I'm going to report from the frontier of role-playing games, TTRPGs, because I've been out and about looking for not necessarily replacements for D&D, but games that I could play in addition to D&D. I am really dedicated at the moment to not giving Wizards of the Coast any more of my money for a while. And if I look at my bookshelf, I see that, I had purchased for me as a gift the D&D 5e, and I have on D&D Beyond, I have a lot of supplements. I rebought the original 3 books, and then I started buying other things just to have them. And those are expensive. They really are. Even on Black Friday, when they have the awesome sales, it's still really expensive to buy those books. And for what they give me in terms of options, I'm not going to go there because I don't like to badmouth anything too much, but all I want to say about that is that it was a iffy proposition at best to start out with, and now with the recent BS about the OGL, I'm kind of just done. So this week I have been off on vacation, and by the way, y'all, you might have a situation soon where you're listening to a podcast that was created before this podcast, where I talk about various things that might not be referenced in those other podcasts, because I did 3 cities podcasts in a row. And I'm releasing those only on a Wednesday for World Building Wednesday. So just so you know that, and you don't look at me funny and go, what the heck? So I've been off on vacation this week. Every so often, just about every year, I take a week vacation in January because my paying job does has a lot of crunch time around the holidays, and I don't like to leave my team in a lurch, so I wait and go on vacation, a week-long vacation in January. Still nowhere near what they have in Europe, but there we go. Anyway, so what I did this week so far is I scheduled some games, playtest games of PsiKids. And PsiKids is my Fate Core sort of limited series game where you play a child with some kind of psionic power. And basically the tagline for it is, you play abandoned children who are on the run from a shadowy government entity. That is the tagline for this game. And I tell you, it does help a great deal to have a tagline. Oh my goodness, it does. It makes people go, oh, okay, so that's what that's about. It's kind of a YA novel. And I think I've talked about it before, but it's getting closer and closer to being released. And I don't want to make this podcast a commercial, okay? But I am talking about what I'm doing, and one of the things I'm doing is trying to get some good playtest sessions of PsiKids. And to that end, I've created a Foundry world to play the game, and I think I'm going to be packaging and releasing that Foundry world as part of the final publication of the game. I don't know, but I think that's what I'm going to do. If that becomes, like, if I can get it down to a science where, I don't have to worry about it, then yeah, that's what we'll do. But anyway, so it's been fun to play with the Foundry. I went hosted on Forge-VTT. Forge is nice because it will let me host a bunch of different games at once, and I don't have to worry about, the server aspect. I was told that if I get an Oracle server, I can probably host it on that, but why bother when this works and, it's got dedicated staff and they know how to run it. So this is not a commercial for the Forge, but I really quite like it a lot. So earlier in the week, I was able to jump into a Pathfinder 2 demo, a one-shot, and this fellow that I gamed with had a tremendous setup of modules and such, so that basically everybody and their brother, like all the modules, all you had to do with the modules is just simply click when you're supposed to click to get into a fight. So like when you're doing a fight, combat went like boom, 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 boom. Which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for that. It did feel a little bit like I was playing a video game, because I kind of was. Just kind of regulated by the DM, but because it was a demo, I didn't expect that there'd be a great story involved. It was really just showing off what both Pathfinder 2 and the Foundry can do. And it was pretty interesting. I liked the extended damage for quote-unquote lethal weapons. That whole idea of a non-lethal weapon is still kind of, I don't know. But we'll go with this. You get some cool crits there. I played a rogue? Yes, a rogue named Mariska, one of their signature characters, one of their iconic characters. And so, I got to play the fancy city rogue coming to this town it's a fishing village where she supposedly grew up. And so it's like, okay, great. So here I am in the fishing village. But, that's okay. I didn't mind that. And we had a cleric who liked to dash out ahead of everybody. And we had a really old man wizard with us. I'm just an old man wizard. Kind of like that. Not ageist at all. No. Why would you say that? Anyway, but I gotta say, the combats went really well, and fast. For, compared to, say, a D&D, a regular, like, D&D 5e combat or whatever, like, I've had entire evenings go by, 3 or 4 hours worth of fights, and you get to a person and they're not ready. And one of the nice things about this system that he was using is that it would say, hey, you're up next, be thinking about what you want to do. And that way, if you were zoned out or whatever, it tells you, hey, look, don't be zoned out. It's time to actually decide what you're going to do next. And I wonder what it would be like to play a spellcaster in that situation, because that's the hardest part of a spellcaster in combat, is deciding what spell to cast next. And so that's just something that's interesting. They have different action economies for casting things, and it was very complicated. But I could see the underlying design choices and why they did those choices the way they did. Still, I'm not entirely sure I'm ready to go whole hog with Pathfinder. I want to play again. I'd like to play again and just see how it goes. Maybe get into a weekly game for a little while, and just see how it goes, right? So last night I played a game called Monster of the Week. Because I'm on vacation, I was able to stay up really late and play it, because it was the only time that it was available. And I got to play a mundane. My only other player in the group was the Spooky, and we had to hunt down some people who were killing good friends of ours. So that was kind of a big dramatic deal. I liked it. I could really see how it really would shine in terms of more than a one shot. In terms of it would seriously shine in terms of a campaign style game. I really do. I think that would be awesome. One thing I did notice is that the combat system is deadly, which is what I expected from Powered by the Apocalypse. Once you throw down, you're going to take some serious wounds and you might die. And the luck currency will save you, but after your luck runs out, you're really screwed. So, basically, I really enjoyed the game. I think I could have enjoyed it better if we had more players, and if we had some kind of, cohesion. That's a one-shot for you, though. And I liked the game. I liked playing the game. I liked helping run it by, showing up at the table. So all good. 100%. I loved it. So that was two pretty positive experiences. And I also have been looking at the game called Quest, which is, I guess it's free now? I don't know. It's hard to explain what its status is. I think there's so many people who have a copy that it's never a problem if you're playing for them to give you a copy. So it is a lot more loosey-goosey in terms of stats and that sort of thing. But what I like about it is that it really does seem to be focused on creating a story and on making the game into something more adventurous. But that's just how it seems to me. I haven't played it yet. I'm looking for opportunities to play it or run it. So if you're out there and you want to play Quest with me, drop me an email, sam@samchupmedia.com. I'm happy to work it out with you. Also, I've been studying up on Fantasy Age, which is actually I heard is coming out with a second edition. Second edition is going to, is clearly in response to the OGL, but that's okay. My good friend Ian Lemke, who you will know as the Changeling, the Dreaming original developer and writer and game designer. He has been tapped to helm that particular project. So I think we can all expect some awesome things happening there. I've read some of the Fantasy Age, the first edition book, and I'm liking it. So there's that. Also, we still are waiting to hear more about what's going on with Cobalt Press and so on. On the other side of the picket line, as it were, I've been playing some D&D, D&D 5th edition. So, I have and it seems like I'm falling into the trap of playing a bard almost every time. And that's okay. I think that's okay for me. I was a forever DM now. Maybe I'm a forever bard now. I don't know. But I like playing a bard because I can be kind of a smartass a little bit, and I can be a, spout forth lore kind of person. And I can, sort of charm people and be the social, person, the social warrior. I like that a lot. I have a character named Laurel, who's an Eladrin bard of the College of Glamour, in a game where we're wandering around the Feywild, a forest that is sort of impinging on the Feywild. That game has been a lot of combat. And I do my best to, be a good combat person as a bard. Frequently enough, though, you have I have one kick-ass spell that will work. I've got Shatter, and then everything else is can they take psychic damage? These vines don't do psychic damage or whatever. Fine, okay. And then I have a first level bard playing the Witch, the Something Beyond the Witchlight carnival game. And I'm liking it, although, wow, first level is completely useless, for the most part. I mean, not useless, but whew. But the nice thing about this little module scenario, the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, there we go. The nice thing about this scenario is that, number one, it's a module, so we all know that it has a structure. Number two, the module is clearly written to be a little sandboxy, which I liked. I like that. Don't get me wrong. You can go around the carnival. You can see things and people. Last time we are creeping up on the Big Top Extravaganza, which I'm hoping that my bard can perform in. And I'm hoping the dice is kind. The dice will be kind. May they be kind. Because otherwise I'm going to be laughed at by a whole bunch of people, including a lot of fairies. But, yeah. So, it's nice. It's really hard for me sometimes to compartmentalize the information I know personally about fairies and the information that my character would know about fairies. So I try to give my character a reason to know things about fairies. Like, for example, oh, they're an Eladrin, or oh, they're fey-blooded, or whatever. So, all that having been said, I'm still looking. I'm still keeping my eyes and ears open. I'm open to new experiences. I think that so far, this year has been a year of new gaming experiences for me. And I'm liking that a lot. Trying to keep my self moving forward, there's a project that's calling to me, and this is how I know that PsiKids is almost done. Because I have this thing where the closer I get PsiKids to being done, the more I want to drop it and just go to another project, right? And that's not good. I need to get it finished. Perfect is the enemy of done. I've got to get that inscribed on my refrigerator. Perfect is the enemy of done. Because basically, this is the making license plate part. This is the difficult foot slog through the mud. And as soon as I can get done with this part, I'm going to be able to enjoy sitting on my laurels for a little bit and then sitting down and finishing up the game called Silken, which is sitting there beckoning to me even as I speak. And I'm going, wow, Silken. Wow. Wow. Silken is a love letter to stories like Swords Point by Ellen Kushner, or movies like Dangerous Liaisons, or all kinds of different things, right? So I'm excited about this game. It is a powered by the Apocalypse game. It should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it's a lot of fun. So far, I've had a blast writing it. I've gotten something like 30,000 words already written in this game, which is just amazing to me. But it's nowhere near done. So this is what I do. I keep slogging in, and or work on something for a while. Sometimes I have to drop it and move on to something else. But I am not dropping PsiKids. I have gotten this far, darn it, and I'm going to finish. So anyway, looks like I am still under my 15-minute time limit, but I have to remind myself that I had some chatter before this. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up for the night. Thank you so much for listening to me and for coming back to me week after week. I really appreciate it. I hope you keep listening. And be looking for those cities podcasts on Wednesday, the World Building Wednesday. And hey, have sweet dreams when you get them. Night.